If you're watching this video, it's probably because you need a website for your handmade business. But you might be wondering how much it's going to cost. If you're really not sure, that's why I created this video. So stay tuned so you can see what all goes into the initial investment, as well as what you can expect to budget year after year to keep your website up and running. Hey, Rebecca here from bexmarie.com. I'm a web designer and WordPress consultant, and I help creative business owners and Etsy sellers just like you learn how to build their own websites. If you want to launch a website for your business, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you will be informed every time I post a new video. I like to post videos that are helpful, informative, website videos, as well as tips and tutorials for you. So if you're ready to take your Etsy shop to the next level and build your own website, let's talk about how much you can expect to spend upfront and ongoing, how much you're going to pay in order to have your own website, and also that it might actually save you money. If you are going to save money driving traffic to your own website instead of Etsy and paying those transaction fees, which is basically like a commission. So you can actually save money by driving your traffic to your own website instead of to Etsy. Alright, so let's go over the initial cost. What you need to understand before we really get into this is that there's three main components to any website that's on the internet. Number one is your domain. That is your .com address, your custom URL, and that is registered on an annual basis. Number two is your hosting. This is renting server space, like a computer server. You're renting memory, like storage space on this server so that your website can be published online. It's where you're going to keep your files, and this computer is online all the time serving up your website. And then the third piece is your actual website, the files that make up your website, the platform that you're using to build your website, like Weebly, Wix, Shopify, WordPress, whatever platform you're using to make the files that gets put on the hosting server, and then you get to it by going to the domain. So domain, hosting, platform. So with your initial cost, you're going to have your domain name. You register this on an annual basis, and your first year you can probably expect to pay less than $10. I use Namecheap, and they've been great. I've been using them for many years, and you can point this domain anywhere. So if you don't have a website yet, you can still get your domain, and you can point it to your Etsy shop or your Facebook page or wherever you want it to go. You can even point it to your Instagram account. The second piece is the platform and the hosting. When it comes to the initial cost, these kind of usually go hand in hand. Just to keep things simple here, I'm just going to go over two options. Number one would be WordPress. WordPress, you can pretty much have it hosted anywhere. Most web hosts offer WordPress hosting. Personally, I use SiteGround. I've been hosting my website on SiteGround for several years now, and they've always been great. I recommend them to my clients and my students. And the first year for hosting your website on SiteGround is going to cost you about $81. Now, year after year after that is going to cost more because they offer like a really good introductory rate. So keep that in mind. But right now we're just talking about the initial investment. So if you're going with WordPress on SiteGround, you can expect to pay about $81. Sometimes they have sales, sometimes it's a little bit less. Now, if you go with Shopify, they have like two payment options. You can either pay per month or you can pay per year. It's $29 per month and you just pay each month. Or if you want to save a little bit of money, you can pay for the whole year up front. You are looking at $312. So that's the second piece involved with the initial startup. The third piece is the actual labor involved with building out the website. And now this is where you can really vary the most. This is where you're going to see the biggest difference in terms of how much your website's going to cost you. Because right now, you're looking at $100 to $300. If you want to really save a lot of money, do it on the cheap, then your option is going to be to do it yourself, build out your own website, teach yourself how to do it. You're going to research and look at YouTube videos and Google searches, and you're going to figure it out how to do it yourself. And you're going to use a free theme, which can be limiting because they won't have as much customization options. And, a lot of times free themes can just be a little bit frustrating, but there are some really good ones out there. So if you decide to do it yourself and use a free theme, then the actual labor involved with building your website is going to be zero. Now, on the opposite side of the spectrum, if you don't want to learn how to build it all yourself, if you don't want to spend a lot of time, if you don't want to spend any time doing research and YouTube videos, if your business is keeping you really, really busy in itself and you don't have time to learn how to build a website, then you can hire a professional. You could either hire a freelancer like myself, which will probably cost you $2,000 to $5,000, depending on how involved your website is, how many pages you need, if you're going to add on an e-commerce web like shop onto it. Or you could hire an agency. Now, an agency is a team of people who have different specialties, and they're usually going to offer a little bit more comprehensive service. They've got people who know all different aspects like search engine optimization, messaging, copywriting. They might even be taking photos for you of your products, that kind of thing. If you need like a whole agency team, then you're probably looking at $10,000, I would say. Maybe less, depending on if it's going to be a simple website. So that's something to consider if you just do not have any time, you don't want to learn how to do it yourself, you just want to hire a professional, then you're probably looking at $2,000 to $10,000 for that. Now, there is a kind of an hybrid options, and so we can talk about that. And one would be you're going to build it yourself, but you're going to buy a pre-made theme, template, a premium theme, something to where you're basically outsourcing the design work, but then you're going to customize it, tweak it to match your branding a little better, and you're going to still write out all your content and actually build the pages, put the layouts together, create each page, create the menus, embed your contact form. So you're still doing it yourself, but you're outsourcing some of the design work by buying a pre-made template or theme. This option is going to cost you probably like $30 to $300. The upside of that option is that you are saving some time for yourself, especially if you're not like really a designy type person, or you just don't want to deal with the design, then you're saving yourself some time by outsourcing the design work. The biggest drawback here is you're probably not going to find something that perfectly matches your branding or that is going to be customizable to the point where you can make it really, really match your branding. And you still have to, do it yourself a little bit. Now, another option would be to take a course and learn how to create and build your own website. And what this does is you're outsourcing some of that research. Instead of doing all of that research all by yourself, you're hiring a professional who knows exactly what to do and how to do it, and to just basically give you that knowledge, feed it straight to you step by step. Here's exactly how to do your own website. And depending on what kind of course you take, they can range anywhere from, I've seen $30 to $1,000. So, and it really just depends on the course format, who's teaching it, and how in-depth the material goes, or how much support and accountability comes with the course. So the upside of this option is that you're going to design and build your own website so you can make it match your branding exactly, and you're going to be empowered to not need to rely on a professional in the future for maintaining your website, because you're going to know how to do it. If you need a new page added on later, you know how to do it. You can do it at your own convenience. You don't have to wait for your web designer to do it for you. And then the drawback here is that all the courses are going to be laid out a little differently. You want to find one that matches your learning style, one that's going to offer you this same amount of support and maybe accountability that you need. So there's some that are really self-directed. Here's the material, you can have access to it, and those are going to be like lower cost options. But you might need more support. You may need a call with the instructor or some one-on-one time with the instructor. You may need like feedback on your designs. You may want more accountability. So then you might want to choose a program that has more of that built in. That's probably going to cost a bit more. That's kind of your options in terms of building out the website. Initial cost of investment, you're looking at anywhere from $91 to $5,000 and up. Now, for the ongoing costs, once you get the website built and it's just running and, you're making tweaks every now and then or whatever, but it's just going to be chugging along year after year, those costs look a lot different because you don't have that huge investment of the actual build, the labor. The labor is always going to be the most expensive part. So now that it's going, it's not going to cost as much. It's not going to cost you $5,000 every single year to have your website. So generally what you can expect is a budget of $325 to $450, $500 per year for keeping your website up and running. And this is going to mainly depend on what platform or hosting you've chosen, and then what extra features are you paying for, that might have a license. So for instance, if you use a premium theme or a feature, a plugin, an app, or whatever that has an annual or monthly expense, then you have to take that into consideration, because not everything is free once you just build the website. Sometimes you're paying for an extra integration or an extra feature. So let's break down a little bit some options as to what to expect when it comes to ongoing. You're going to have your domain renewal every single year. So for me, the last time I renewed my domain, it cost me $13.66 at Namecheap. Then, beyond the domain, then you have your platform/hosting expenses. So again, like we talked about before with Shopify, it's $312 per year or $29 per month. Or if you want to use WordPress with SiteGround, then you're looking at $300 per year. So $300 with WordPress, $312 with Shopify. It's, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. It's pretty much the same. Then you're going to think about any premium themes. Sometimes the themes have an annual license, and that is so that you continue to get updates and support for that theme. So if you have an issue, you can contact the developer and ask them, can you help me fix this? And they're going to be there for you because you're paying your annual license fee. Or if you're going to do any extra plugins or apps, like Shopify apps, a lot of them have a monthly fee, or WordPress plugins might have an annual fee. So that's going to also factor into your ongoing expenses. So for me, my website costs per year $432.94. And so let's break that down. That's $13.66 for my domain name renewal, and it was $299.88 for my SiteGround hosting renewal, and then it was $119.40 for my Beaver Builder package, which is the Beaver Builder theme. It's a premium theme, and then the drag and drop plugin, which is the drag and drop page builder tool that I use, which I made a video about that. You can click on that video and see all about Beaver Builder. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning, building your own website could potentially save you money. So yes, even though you may be paying $400, $500 a year for your website, if you take into consideration the fact that when you send your traffic, your email list, your social media followers, your friends and family, random people from the internet are going to check out on Etsy, you are paying Etsy a transaction fee. They take a 5% transaction fee on the bottom line. Whatever the customer pays, the bottom line, Etsy takes 5% of that. Also on Etsy, you're paying per listing, that 20-cent listing fee, and then anytime it sells, or if it doesn't sell within 4 months or whatever it is, you're paying that 20-cent renewal fee. So if you are making the majority of your sales on Etsy now, but you are driving the majority of your own traffic, then that is a big indicator that actually building your own website could save you money instead of yes, it's going to cost you money up front to build it, but then it could be saving you money in the long run. If you want to kind of crunch some numbers and see if that's going to be the case for you, I did create a free calculator, which is the Etsy fees versus website costs calculator. You can check that out, or you can check out my video called Sell on Etsy or Your Own Website. So are you ready to launch your own website this year? If so, hit the thumbs up on this video and leave me a comment and tell me what you thought about this, if this was helpful or what you're thinking in terms of your website. Let me know the results from the calculator. Is it going to be saving you money, Or are you going to just stick with Etsy for right now? Also, I wanted to let you know I'm going to be opening up enrollment for my group program soon. It's called Create, Launch, and Flourish Together. And this is basically my online course, but I'm running it live as a group program so we can build your website together. I'm going to hold your hand step by step. I'm going to show you exactly how to build your website, and I'm going to be there for you for accountability. We're going to have a group where you can get feedback from different people as well as myself, and I'm going to be able to answer all your questions. We're going to have Q&A sessions. We're going to celebrate launches together, and we're really going to build it together. So we're going to have a group of people who are all building their websites together. It's going to be, there's going to be two options if you want to build a plain website, just like a basic brochure website as they call it, or if you would like your website to have e-commerce, a whole shop and checkout involved. So, we're going to start off together, and that's going to be the 8 weeks to build the website. Or if you want to add on the e-commerce shop, then you'll keep with me for another 4 weeks as we build out the shop. So click the link in the video description if you want to learn more about that program. I would love to see you inside. I can't wait to help you launch and flourish with your own website. Bye, guys.